oh gosh, it's March, if you can believe it. And we just have some people. Here's another one. Not only has Valerie submitted that interesting thing about the for Black History Month and Martin Luther King Day that was in February, but now we have my neighbor across the hall, Helen Lucero, and she's doing. She didn't ever share that she loves to do crafts and she loves to share and help other people learn how to do them. And our new owners have told Marty that they want even more activities going. There's the introduction of Crystal Lopez is also on this front page. And those of you who've met her, she is just delightful, a delightful person. And her name is Crystal Lopez. I am so excited to be part of the Manzano del Sol family. I have worked with seniors in fitness for 12 years. I'm so grateful to be working with two of my favorite things, seniors and fitness. I'm from Santa Fe, but I've been in Albuquerque for 5 years. I'm the mother of 3, 2 adult children, and my youngest is 11 years old. I've taught various fitness classes throughout the years, and I'm excited to start up the classes here at Manzano. I'm always open to feedback, questions, and concerns, so please do not hesitate to stop by the Wellness Center to meet me. And also, if you use or even are thinking of, she'd like you to, all of us, to use the equipment that's in the exercise room. And apparently it's going to be rearranged, there's going to be new equipment, but she wants people to learn how to use it. And so you just go knock on her office window, and if she isn't leading a class, she'd love to come out and share with you. Over to you, Rod.
Okay, this is written by someone I'm sure that almost everybody here knows, Millie Cheltweed, the turtle lady. It says, Turtle Talk. Where did the time go? It doesn't seem like 5 months since our tortoises, Diablo and Delia, were put away in the cozy box and stored away to hibernate for 6 months. But sure enough, Tuesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, is the day of the big turtle coming out party and parade. The time is 2:30 and the gathering place for the parade in the garden is in the garden near the pond. After our tour of the health center, we will end up in the garden near the swimming pool, where our treasured tortoises will be released in the grassy area, and refreshments will be served. Come and join in the parade. If you can't do that, just join us for the refreshments. This party is silly, noisy, and lots of fun. We always have a big turnout for this event. Please mark it on your calendar. If there is any change of day or time, you will receive a door drop to inform you. I hope you're as excited as I am to see the tortoises wandering about the garden once more. Be sure to welcome Phyllis Loretta as the new turtle lady. I am retiring after the job for 15 years, Millie Cheltweed. And I might add that I think that means just 15 years here. I believe she had those turtles long before she came here.
In her yard.
Okay. Gift shop news. You want to take this or me?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. The pricing and shortage of eggs has affected all of us. The gift shop will no longer be carrying eggs until it is a more stable market. We still carry the small milk for 60 cents each. The price of drumsticks, my favorite ice cream, is $1.25, and JJ's apple pies are $1. St. Patrick's Day, I'm looking around for the green. I'm the only one that wore it. Okay. St. Patrick's Day is always a fun holiday. Be sure you stop in and have some fun buying some great items. Your business is appreciated. There are not many facilities that have a gift shop. You can come in and purchase one stamp, one envelope, or one battery if that's all you need. You can get a present from the store and take it to resident services and mail it. Convenient and saving time is a valuable commodity. And this is by Debbie Harrington, is the lady who runs the gift shop. And for those of you who don't know why the Irish celebrate St. Patrick's Day, it supposedly is the date that St. Patrick died, and that was over 1,000 years ago.
And the date is the 17th,
17th of March. Yes. United Women in Faith invite any interested women to join us for a special time of fellowship. We meet the fourth Tuesday each month in the Hobby Room from 1:30 to 3. Our March meeting will be on the 25th. For questions or to RSVP, please call or text Sharon Christensen and there's a number here for her. And I guess I'll put in a plug for this. My wife has been a long-time member of this too. Over to you.
Manzano Community YouTube. Hello, guys. This is submitted by our friend Norm. This is an update on Manzano Community YouTube publications. We have published over 90 presentations from our resources on the Manzano campus. That is incredible. Birthday parties, chapel worship services, special events, fashion shows, talent show, music concerts, reading the apple barrel, and resident council meetings. We now have 65 residents and guests receiving email notices of each publication release. Email addresses are not publicly shown on the release notices, but sent as blind copies, keeping your email address private. If you're not receiving these Manzano YouTube videos, why not? Mickey likes it, so might you. Mikey? Mikey or Mickey? Mikey, who likes cereal. Yeah. If you don't like
Mikey likes it.
He'll eat anything. Just send me an email and bingo, you shall receive. And then Norm has put in his number, his apartment number, and his email address. And then it's his little app that says, "What's filming now?" That was submitted by, again, Norm Rebel. And boy, we're lucky to have it. It's fun to be able to see everything that's happening in case you missed out on it. But you get to see, and if you're not interested, you just don't open the app. It's wonderful. Judith Liddell. Judith is the one who wears a t-shirt that says, "I am the bird lady." I received so many inquiries about the bird finding guide I co-authored with my friend Barbara Hussey that I have purchased a copy for the library for everyone to enjoy. Excuse me. The inside cover aptly describes it as a detailed guide to the most important birding locations in central New Mexico. covering 29 sites from Corrales to the Bosque del Apache, including the foothills and mountains near Albuquerque. It includes maps, photographs, trail diagrams, and images of some of the birds, and scenery that can be enjoyed. We list the target birds and when to be able to see them. We discovered that we were the first women to write this type of guide. We included information such as the closest restrooms, if not at the site, picnic facilities, public transportation, availability of water, and the presence of such hazards as rattlesnakes, bears, and poison ivy. Yes, we have it in New Mexico. There's also an annotated checklist of 222 species of birds seen with some regularity in and around Albuquerque. It's become an indispensable guide for birders and nature lovers. And so she has a picture of the book in the article, and it's called Birding Hotspots. That's a wonderful research for. We were wondering where they were going to take trips, and now that's a done deal if they can find the transportation. So that's a great book. I had no idea that we had that many birds in New Mexico. 222 species. That's amazing. That's our beautiful state.
The next article is entitled Ramblings, and it's written by Chuck Nemeth. Last night I dreamt about a girl I have never dreamt about before. Her hair was red, her movements like a squirrel. She lightly did run across the floor. She skipped about and then gave a whirl. She danced her way out the door. But I treasure her like a pearl, though I will not see her no more. Before today I didn't know your name, nor what you did, nor whence you came. For this I will accept the blame, so if ever you reach some fame, upon my head will rest the shame. For no excuse will ease the pain. Why does it always seem so lame? So weak it is, so small, so tame. How dare I try to make a claim that things can be just the same? Surely I have blown out the flame. The leaves are dark against the glowing sky. I clean the trout and put them on to fry. Then I sit and watch the stream go by, gurgling, splashing, the sounds so spry. The sounds of a night now trying to cry, the wind in the trees, are but a sigh. The stars, the moon on high. I ask the stars, the stream, the moon on high, could I just spend days like this before I die? The next one is Memories. This is dated September 1991. It is written by Marie Carmen. What a wonderful morning. I've been sitting on the deck on the lounger chair in the warmth of the early morning sun since 7 a.m. It's a very busy place, especially out without Ragnar here to chase the chipmunks. He's off visiting his two girlfriends up the road. I assumed Ragnar was a pet dog or a cat or something. There are 5 baby chipmunks and their mother living under the deck. As I sat there quietly, 2 baby chipmunks came and sat on the extending logs of our cabin, watching me closely. The hummingbirds are always busy chasing each other away from the feeder, dive-bombing me in their frenzy. Two whizzed past me in between the book I was reading and my nose. When I ducked, the chipmunks darted behind a box and screeched at me. There is so much fluttering of wings as the finches, who grosbeaks, I lost my space. Oh, and nuthatches fly back and forth from tree to the feeders. Finally, all 5 chipmunks came to the bottom of the bird feeder, eating leftover seeds while Mama looked on. When Bill came out, they all scattered. He got down on all fours on the bottom and on the ground at the bottom of the deck and went absolutely still for a few minutes, and soon they came out again, one by one. One baby sniffed his fingers and another darted over his hand. I thank God in my heart that we are here. It has been an especially wet summer, and there are wild flowers and wild mushrooms everywhere. The other good thing about the rain is our cistern has been full of water all summer, in spite of all the dishwashing and showering during the family reunion. However, it has prevented us from sleeping outside most of the summer. And as I said before, this is dated 1991.
Spring exhibition at the Chuck, and this is written by Chuck Crawley. The wonderful 4 Grand Dames exhibition of paintings will only continue for another month. It is a stunning display of these amazing women's work. I know they've heard many comments about how beautiful and impressive their paintings are. As the curator of this exhibit, I have the greatest admiration for them and for their accomplishments. I just hope they haven't totally stopped doing their painting. Be sure in the few weeks remaining in the exhibition to spend some more time with their work. And if you have questions or comments, I would be more than willing to talk with you. But it's time to be thinking about preparing for the spring exhibition, entitled Collections. It will be on display April, May, and June. In my nearly daily walks through all 6 floors of the Manzano del Sol corridors, I have admired the art that is displayed by our residents. There's an enormous variety of what each of us has collected, and many of those works have been hung for us to admire and benefit from. Not all of these pieces are original works of art, but a significant number are, and I'm sure that there are many interesting and original pieces hanging inside of each apartment. For that reason, I'm asking all residents to look at their collections, large or small, and select and offer them for this, quote, collections exhibition. There are some guidelines as to what you should offer. 1, the work must be original, not reproductions, and must be framed. 2, they may be paintings, drawings, or prints. The prints, which are multiple images from the same prepared master that are hand numbered, for example, 21/50, with an original signature by the artist. 3, the work should not be by the resident or a living close family member. 4, submit 3 to 5 pieces. At least 3 will be shown with more as space is available. 5, if known, include a short note about when and why your collection got started and the piece selected to be shown. And the 6th Work will be done in the Resident Services office by April the 10th, 2025. I'm looking forward to seeing some of your remarkable pieces and a display that will tell viewers something about you and your interests. That's interesting. So it is not, you are not to be the artist, but it's simply part of your collection of something that you've admired and collected over the years.
And the four dames that he makes reference to in the very beginning of this, they are four ladies here at Manzano that are all artists, and they are arguably, I can only think of the names of three of them, but they are arguably the oldest people living here now. One of them is 99, one of them is 98, the other one is either 96 or 97.
The calligraphy display by Ron Frederick is really something too. Ron has invited us to view a display of 6 very nice framed calligraphy on paper pieces. They're quotations of famous artists in different letter styles. See them outside apartment 129 downstairs, located at the end of the long westward hall by the back door. So if you ever use that to go out into the parking lot, that's where that apartment is. And you'll see the calligraphy pieces arranged on that wall.
And in case the name Ron Friedrich is not familiar to you, despite health problems which he's had of recent time, I believe he's the one who has organized this help program. If you have something that needs repair or fixing.
Helping hands.
Huh? Helping hands. There we go.
That's right.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, the next 2 pages, one of them lists March birthdays.
Okay.
So there's Shirley Eaton, Connie Fletcher, Gary Miller, Donna Stoner, Chuck Qualley, he's the one that's in charge of the art activity, and I believe this is his 95th birthday. Patricia White, Lois Plantke, and William Yan, spelled with a J. I confess I do not know but one of them. Also was a listing here of new residents. On the fourth floor is John Trujillo. Also on the 4th floor, David and Pamela Hinchcliffe. And on the 5th floor, Robert and Elfried Allen. And then there's an article here by a nurse who I think is as well known as anybody, Vanessa. Said, would you like to have a walker bag? We have a wonderful woman who has donated some and is willing to make more if there is an interest for them. Currently, we have a Raiders football team, a U.S. Marine one, an Air Force one, and one with cowgirls on it. You are more than welcome to stop by the clinic and give them a try. We can also submit a request for different patterns as well. And that's submitted by Vanessa Jackson, whose office is down near the mailboxes. And then as a light rime roams over the sky, searching for a late softening to shyness and sunset blushes. That is the complete.
Residents Council, remember, will be occurring on Monday. So that's always good to go to the council meeting down on the in the chapel at 2 p.m. so we can find out what's coming. Then there's the food committee and the library committee meeting. Those are all taking part. And so if you have suggestions for those committees, I know David served on that committee, the food committee, for quite a while, but you don't now, do you, David?
No, I can't see.
Yeah. And so that's occurring on a week from today, on Thursday. And then there's the things that you certainly could take part in are the meditation classes, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 9:30 in the hobby room. And also Tai Chi, because even if you're having trouble with your side, I think you can still do the motions in the Tai Chi. And then the activity here at Manzano, bingo on Saturdays.
There's also one here listed. I wonder if anyone knows anything more about it. It lists Tai Chi with Marty. All right, the next page has the March ministry schedule. For those of you who attend Sunday services, this past Sunday was Bert Scott. Then the 9th is Hannah Scanlon. Then on the 16th, Bert Scott again. On the 23rd, David Whiteley. And on the 30th of March, there is no service listed. And for the Wednesday services at 6:30, Lorna Kayuk. I know her because she plays bridge, but I don't know her last name. And apparently, it says imposition of ashes. I think that's an Ash Wednesday celebration because today is that. Then on the March 12th is a Reverend Takako Tierno, and communion will be served. On March 19th, Reverend Lynn Hinton, and on March 26th, Keith Smith. And there's a footnote here that Catholic services are held every first and Thursday morning at 10 a.m. And every second and fourth Monday at 10 a.m. they meet to say the rosary. Next article says, thanks everyone for your donations to the Road Runner Food Bank. Yay, Manzano. In January, another 24 pounds of food, it was donated by our Manzano residents, was delivered to the Roadrunner Food Bank. The total amount of food that has been collected and donated by Manzano residents so far in 2024 and 25 is 170 pounds and $10 in cash. The donation box will remain available indefinitely outside apartment 319. Please add your donations to what already is in the box. I will take all of the donations over to Roadrunner Food Bank as soon as the box is full. Roadrunner Food Bank is happy to accept all types of non-perishable foods, and their greatest need is for protein foods. If it is too far for you to walk over to apartment 319, call me, and there's a phone number here, and I'll come to pick up your donation. Thank you. And this is written by Jan DeCourtney.
The second floor welcomes Don and Nancy Burns. Nancy is a California girl who grew up in and around Burbank. She received her BA in sociology, her MA in psychology, and Nancy is involved with the National Commission for the Blind, as well as the National Federation for the Blind. Nancy uses her counseling skills with a support group here in Albuquerque, helping others create new options in their lives. Don and Nancy spent 6 years getting a Braille literacy bill passed in the California State Legislature. Don is a retired pipe fitter from the Farmington area. He was born in Hammond, Indiana, and his family moved to New Mexico when Don was 12. As his vision became more involved in the visually impaired community, he was interested in mobility training, using his skills to train others. Nancy and Don met in Dallas at a National Federation for the Blind conference. They went on to work in Alamogordo for Commission of the Blind projects, and they've been married for 31 years and have a blended family of children and grandchildren. What did this couple do for their downtime? They danced to music from the 50s or country music. They listened to an extensive collection of audiobooks. Both enjoy gourmet cooking. Nancy likes to bake, while Don is a barbecue master. They both enjoy entertaining. Nancy says her get-togethers are the best things she ever has done. Don and Nancy love to take cruises. They've done 16, with hopefully one more on the way. 4 times through the Panama Canal. 2 30-day cruises to Australia, stopping at exotic ports along the way. European stops include Venice, Italy, Paris, France, and Spain. Don and Nancy enjoy living at Manzano del Sol because of the amenities, friendly residents, and helpful staff. And that was written by Carol Summers. Dear Manzano friends, I'm so grateful for all the cards, phone calls, visits, prayers, and love showered on me during my recent illnesses. My spirits were lifted by your caring and kindness. My best birthday surprise was when Lorna called me and the entire Wednesday night church congregation sang happy birthday to me. How blessed we are to be part of this wonderful family atmosphere at MDS. My heartfelt thanks to each of you. And that's written by Barbara Kerr. Untitled is the last entry on page 9, and that's written by Mary Gruby. Dark eyes in your look, I search for the nighttime skies that soar through me and open beyond us and wrap the wide spaces of their feather all down around us.
Not everything gets into the apple barrel because there just isn't room. What I'm about to read you, which is printed, I wrote it only as an introduction to the song Galway Bay. And since the song didn't make it, with your permission, I'll share it with you afterwards. Galway Bay, with this song, and this is all on the level, incidentally. With this song, there is some history. You must know and understand it, because it is not just a song. Ireland is a very old country. In the 12th century, it was conquered by the English, and over the centuries, English control was often brutal. I mean, really brutal. Okay, ever since the 1921 treaty, which established the Irish Free State, and you may know there's 2 Irelands, if you will, North Ireland, which is Protestant, and South Ireland, which is Catholic. Okay, there has been a great deal of unrest aimed at breaking Ireland free of British control. Now this song, Galway Bay, was written around 1900 and was brought to the United States in 1943 by a name I'm sure you'll all remember, Bing Crosby. It became a very popular song. I think it hit number 3 on the charts at one time, and its popularity in part, no doubt, was because of the popularity of Bing Crosby himself. But here's the part I'd like you to listen to when you hear it. The song has 2 main themes. In one, It's a song of remembrance, of nostalgia, if you will, of how Ireland was before the British took control. However, if you listen to the rest of the words, there is a subtle expression of anger in this song toward the way the British treated the Irish. This expression was so strong that when the song was released in the United States, one word in the song was changed. In the original version, there was a line, "For the British came and tried to teach us their way. They scorned us for being what we are." Well, I'm sure you'll all remember that in 1943, the U.S. and England were allies in World War II. And so it might have been offensive to release a song in the U.S. that spoke disparagingly of the British. So the word British was changed to strangers.
Oh,
And that's how you will hear the song if you ever hear it sung. But before I go over the song very briefly with you, there's a few words in the song. Remember, this was written in 1910. There are a few words that need some explanation. Claddagh is the name, or was the name, of an Irish fishing village. A gossoon is a young boy. They talk about the barefoot gossoons, okay? Praties are potatoes in Irish. And heather, I think you know, is a very aromatic flower. And so this is the song, Galway Bay. If you ever go across the sea to Ireland, then maybe at the closing of your day, you will sit and watch the moon rise over Claddagh and see the sun go down on Galway Bay. Just to hear again the ripple of the trout stream, the women in the meadow making hay, and to sit beside a turf fire in the cabin and watch the barefoot gossoons at their play. For the breezes blowing o'er the sea from Ireland are perfumed by the heather as they blow, and the women in the uplands digging praties speak a language that the strangers do not know. For the British came and tried to teach us their way. They scorned us just for being what we are. But they might as well go chasing after moonbeams or light a penny candle from a star. And if there is going to be a life hereafter, and somehow I am sure there's going to be, I will ask my God to let me make my heaven in that dear land across the Irish Sea.
yay, thanks.
Yeah, never. Here's one by Alan Jackson, that he's apparently the original author, but it is submitted by Edwina Waddington. The older I get, the more I think. You can only get a minute, better live it while you're in it, 'cause it's gone in a blink. And the older I get, the truer it is. It's the people I love, not the money and stuff, that makes you rich. The fewer friends I have, but you don't need a lot when the ones that you've got have always got your back. And the older I get, the better I am at knowing when to give a damn. The longer I pray, I don't know why, I guess it's that I've got more to say. And the older I get, the more thankful I feel for the life I've had and all the life I'm still living. And if they found a fountain of youth, I wouldn't drop a drink, and that's the truth. Funny how it feels, I'm just getting to my best years the older I get.
And that takes us right up to Black History Month quiz. And I've told you that Valerie is going to come and share a little bit about that and have the answers to both those quizzes next month.
Will you take this last page?
Sure. So on the last page, it discusses the Wellness Center. It says, we will be giving our Wellness Center a new, fresh look I know everyone will love. I would love to meet with our current members and potential members to get to know all of you better and to know how to better serve you. We will be scheduling people for fitness assessments starting now in March. In these assessments, we will discuss your fitness and wellness goals, testing balance, strength, your cardio, and flexibility. We would like to do these assessments every 3 months for the first year of your program to trace your progression. The assessments will be recommended, but not required. Whether you've been a member of the Wellness Center for years or never stepped in, we want you to be familiar with all the equipment, such as settings, functions, and purpose, so you can utilize the equipment efficiently. Please ask me or Ruth, our wellness assistant, for brief orientation on the equipment or in the Wellness Center. For all new members, our onboarding process will include an orientation and first assessment. We will start with a sign-up process for the Wellness Center so we can track usage and membership. If you're not a member yet, it's a perfect time to sign up. The wellness membership is $22 a month for a single resident and $42 a month for couples. You can access the wellness gym anytime during operation hours and take as many fitness classes as you like. And that center or the wellness gym is usually open until 5 o'clock, 7 days a week. And that's not true. They used to close it at 5 o'clock and every day, and it was not open on weekends.
It was open on Saturdays.
On Saturdays, you're right.
But it's now open 7 days a week.
Yeah, which is nice to have it open on Sunday afternoons especially. Classes will be available for every fitness level. Again, now this is submitted, of course, by our new wellness director. She says we'll have several classes in the morning starting at 9 a.m. And your class is listed, David, in that group that will be, we hope they'll have an instructor. But she seems so energetic about finding people that I bet that they'll have someone, hopefully. And several classes in the afternoon. Classes will vary from 30-minute classes to 45-minute classes. In the back of your class schedule will be a description of each class. Non-members are welcome to try each class once to see if they'd like to continue to attend and to buy a membership. We would like all participants to sign up for the classes as well as to track attendance and to see what classes are going to stay on the schedule and which ones will need to be changed. If you have a class recommendation, I'm happy to consider and see what I can do to bring that class. Pool classes will start soon when we all get certification in order. I hope to see you all in class. And I know that for so many who love that pool exercise, that will be good news to know that the certification is probably coming along soon.
And if I may, I wonder if I might ask for your indulgence for just a few moments more. This being March and the month of the Irish, I'd like to share with you another bit of Irish folklore, a little bit of history, and another song. You may have wondered why some folks here in New Mexico celebrate Cinco de Mayo, which is a Mexican holiday. You may have also wondered why the Irish have a holiday in the U.S., St. Patrick's Day. It's not a federal holiday, but believe me, it is widely celebrated. In the early 1800s, Ireland had a large population of tenant farmers who worked mainly to produce potatoes. They were a major and significant part of the Irish diet. Hard to believe, but they practically lived on potatoes only.
All right.
Between 1845 and 1849, a potato blight virtually destroyed the Irish economy, and over 1 million people died of starvation. This led to a mass migration out of Ireland, and between 1845 and 1850, over half of the immigrants into the United States were from Ireland. And in 1850, over half of the population of New York City was Irish. The first St. Patrick's Day parade in the U.S. was held in New York City in 1762. That was 14 years before the Declaration of Independence was even written. And today in Chicago, they pour green dye into the Chicago River so that it runs green on St. Patrick's Day. This 1914 song I want to share with you, A Little Bit of Heaven, is an example, as you just spoke a moment ago, of the strong affections that the Irish have for their homeland. Have you ever heard the story of how Ireland got its name? I'll tell you so you understand from whence old Ireland came. No wonder that we're proud of that dear old land across the sea. And here's the tale me dear old mother told to me. Sure, a little bit of heaven fell from out the skies one day, and it nestled in the ocean in a spot so far away. And when the angels found it, it sure looked so peaceful there. They sweet and fair. They said, let us leave it, for it looks so peaceful there. So they sprinkled it with stardust just to make the shamrocks grow. 'Tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. And then they dotted it with silver just to make it the lake so grand. And when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland.